Uh, okay. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to see these two. This is Niccolò Bernabei and Linda Sandkvist, and
Hello.
from La Querce Seconda in Tuscany, in Chianti Classico. Linda, Niccolò, it's amazing to see you. Thank you for being here.
Likewise. Very nice seeing you.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, it's my absolute pleasure. These two are very special in my heart, and this is basically a bon vivant virtual visit with La Querce Seconda. The idea here is if you're watching this video and you think that everything sounds incredible, because they are, and you want to taste these wines, please reach out to me, because I want to get samples to you. I want you to taste these because this year is crazy and it's very different. But I want to spread the good word of Chianti Classico and Chianti from Montespertoli and just the wines of La Querce Seconda. So yeah, well, so first of all, let's talk about where you're located. So I'm going to show a couple maps, but then you can kind of help me hone in on exactly where you are. But here's a map of Italy, obviously. Tuscany is the zone, probably the most famous region here in America when we think of Italy. And so this is Tuscany. This shows kind of all the different regions that we're familiar with, from Montepulciano, but then the famous Chianti Classico that sits in between Firenze and Siena. And one more, or actually I have two more. This now shows in the purple zone is Chianti Classico, and all the other different zones are here. But Montespertoli, which is just west of where you're located, is also in this map. And lastly is just Chianti Classico. So where are you located in Chianti Classico?
In the very northern corner of San Casciano.
In San Casciano. So right up here?
A bit
in the middle,
there.
Right here, as far north as you get.
Absolutely, as far north as it gets. The main road divides the territory.
Between Chianti Colli Fiorentini and Chianti Classico.
Yeah.
So Colli Fiorentini is right north of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Montespertoli is to the west of you.
Yeah.
More west.
Yeah.
More west, okay. And Firenze, if I remember, it's 9 kilometers away.
Only, yeah.
It's crazy.
The other side of the hills.
On the other side of the hills. So we're in the far north portion, and the reason I wanted to show this map in particular is because this shows the different zones and regions within Chianti Classico. I think right now in America and hopefully the world, there is a new appreciation for Chianti Classico because there's very special soil in Chianti Classico that keeps it the top. It's above the rest. And San Casciano in Valdepesa is where you're located, and we'll talk about soils, but a really, really special place. And so, before we get into the nitty gritty and topic of Chianti Classico and where and all the soil, let's talk about La Querce Seconda. How did you begin? Like, Niccolò, this is in your family. Linda, you are not from Italy. So tell us the story of how this all came to be and how La Querce Seconda began.
Okay, you begin.
I begin. I grew up in La Romola, and I'm working the farm from when I was child.
Cool.
And
for fun, we should say.
Yeah, for fun. And of course, the farm take the main time. Also during my study time, the farm was continually back. And I choose to invest to grow the farm, and then I remain to work in the farm. And in the beginning was only my mother
and 2 hectares, we should say, more or less.
Yes,
2 hectares. Okay.
Very, very, very small, very, very small farm. 2 hectares of vineyard and 4 hectares of olive tree. And now we have got 40 hectares in totally, and 7 hectares of vineyard and 3,000 plants of olive trees.
Of olive trees, beautiful.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
yeah, we have got 2 farms, one in Montespertoli and one in La Romola, and some other field around San Casciano.
Cool.
So for this reason, we have got a chance to have several kind of soil
And wines.
and wines.
Yeah.
And wines. Wow. And your mother, she was the first woman winemaker in Chianti
Yeah,
Classico.
my mother, she's Swedish too, and she was the first woman that care directly the vineyard
in Classico.
Tuscany. Yes.
Yeah. In Tuscany.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah.
Because normally was the man that write on owner and conductor,
Right.
owner and conductor of the farm, and like coltivatore diretto, direct farmer.
Yeah.
And she was the first woman that is registered
in the beginning of the 60s. So
in the beginning of the 60s. That's so incredible. And
it's a different world.
Yeah, especially as in our world, we're starting to finally recognize women winemakers because it's a challenge. Not because women aren't perfectly suited and brilliant. It's because men don't allow it, and it's a constant struggle. So the fact that your mother back in the early 60s was the first woman to own vineyards and be in charge of them, that's so cool. So cool. And so did your mother take well, I mean, she was from Sweden, so she moved there and
she started learn made in that time in the 60s
the farming practices.
The farming practice was really tradition, and and the many rules, many come si dice, molte regole, molte analyzed rules. They're still actuality. So it's if you got so he learned to make wine in a traditional way.
Cool.
And now I'm doing the same with just keep good grapes and try to use less and less just grapes and
very traditional.
Traditional.
Yeah, turning grapes into wine in the most simplistic and beautiful way possible. So, Niccolò, when did you full-time start making wine?
1995.
1995. Okay.
I care about
the wine cellar, conducting
exclusive in the farm.
Great. And Linda, how did you come into the picture? I love this story.
The most I don't know thing that came to Italy, young Swedish girl, and then met the love of her life. It's very and he was a wine producer, so
So it really worked out. It really worked out.
It really worked out. So well, I didn't plan to stay, but then we did, and then we developed this thing together, and
cool.
So a lot of, I don't think we really understood from the beginning, but it's not that you don't decide from the beginning, okay, this is what we're going to do, that you just grow with it, into it, and then you find yourself into it, and it's then you decide to really go for it. So I love it. And now you have 2 amazing children. And they're teenagers now. Do they show interest in the farm at all, or not so much? No, fortunately not yet.
Not yet. Maybe we'll see.
No, they really should do other things first, and then we see. They might come back on it, but they really have to do take other roads first. So
And La Querce Seconda means the second oak, like the second oak tree. And if I remember correctly, it's because your neighbor was the first oak. was
Oh,
like
in the beginning was only one. It's very typical name for farm.
Yeah,
For
wherever you go in Tuscany, you
there are
find
seven
different names with the
La
Querce
Querce.
in it,
Querce. Okay, okay.
because
I see.
there's a lot of oak trees. So
So
and
that-
yeah, so first it was only one farm, and then when it during
was
the
divided
60s they divided it, the farm. You're like,
so for don't make
the second La Querce. I
Yeah.
got you. Okay, that makes sense.
oh yeah, that is the neighbor actually now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
neighbor. They never use the
No.
name, but we started to call Seconda because
They don't want to create
conflict. So,
Yeah, exactly, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And this winery is tiny. I mean, your entire production. How many bottles per year are you making?
we can produce Chianti Classico. We got 1,800 hectoliters. So there are 18,000 liters of Chianti Classico, and there are
18,000 or 8,000?
18.
18,000 liters. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Cool.
so in bottle they can be 20.
Yeah, 22.
20,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
20,000 bottles.
Mm.
And then EGT, of course, and Chianti can be 6,000 bottle each year.
6,000 bottles. Great. Okay. Yeah, because your cellar can't hold much more.
No.
Yeah. Every time I'm there, it's a game of Jenga.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
actually a nice like some of the barrels that are in this cellar. And you see the
One
barrel.
angle, not much bigger than that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and you can see this barrel is right here. There's not much more to this space. And then even outside, you utilize
full of tank everywhere, and
Yeah.
yes, it's not easy.
Right now, are you sitting here?
No, we are in
We're-
Montespertoli.
Montespertoli. Okay, great. So now in Montespertoli and San Casciano, what is the climate like? Are they similar climate in kind of?
No, San Casciano is more dry because
the wind.
the wind just around 5 p.m. Start immediately the wind every day. Start the wind from the sea. And
because it's a big open valley that kind of closes after San Casciano. So we got this lovely wind coming in from the Mediterranean Sea.
And respect other valley of Chianti Classico, San Casciano is direct investito.
Yeah, you got this direct wind from the seaside, and then you come to the Chianti Classico mountains. You know, so the steeper mountains. But we have all this wind coming in. So, yeah, so it's I mean, in general, both in Montespertoli, Roma, and San Casciano, the climate is dry Mediterranean, but we have this wind, especially in San Casciano and La Roma coming in, which of course helps.
Montespertoli, the orientation of the field is opposite respect the sea wind. La Roma is get exactly in front.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so, and what is the elevation difference between Montespertoli and San Casciano?
Here it's around 200 meters.
Yes, and San Casciano 300 meters.
It's 300 meters. And if I remember correctly, does Chianti Classico have limitations with altitude? It has to be.
Yes, it cannot be too low, close river, and the highest elevation is 650
maybe. Yeah.
650.
Wow. Where is that? Further south?
No, is the mont on
Southeast.
on Greve. There is
In the Greve area.
San Michele. There is quite high,
Mm.
and the mountain arrive until 908 meters. So there are some field very high. So,
Wow. Which I think is kind of another point to why Chianti Classico and the different subregions are so important, because they create different wines. You know, you have not only different soils and different, but different altitudes. It's really quite unique. I've got, as we kind of meld into the topic of the ground and the soil types, I want to share some pictures of the estate. This is looking from the winery.
yeah,
It does. Yep.
Down into Chianti Classico, correct?
Yes, this is the view of about all the Chianti Classico district. District.
Awesome.
And long way there is in the back there is Monte del Chianti.
Okay.
In the back.
Far away.
Yes,
yeah,
that is Monte del Chianti. And down there is La Valle di Greve.
Down here.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is Valle di Greve.
See.
And yes, this is quite, you can understand that when we talk about the climate. And in La Roma is direct contact with the wind from the sea. And the La Valle di Greve is much more deep and get the windy after
first passing off, so they get less. Yeah.
So it's
less wind.
We have got quite a big excursion of temperature between the day and the night. So
for sure. And so right now the next picture I'll show is down towards the bottom of this hill, but this is a new vineyard you've now made.
Yes.
Created.
Lockdown project.
This is during the lockdown.
Yeah, so this is a big, how do you say, photo of the total field after working it and also with a stone crusher working it as well.
Yes,
because it's made of this.
Yes, it is.
This is the soil.
Galestro, yeah.
Typical Galestro, clay stone, and it's quite soft stone and very.
Yeah, it looks very hard, but actually, if you take it in your hand, you can almost break it as well.
So it's made of it's clay background. Okay.
Yeah, clay stone.
Marlin clay.
Marlin clay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Old clay press and.
So, and also in contact with the air, then it's you see how they tends to you can easily crush it.
Yeah, it crushes. It's almost it's not oily necessarily, but it just falls apart and wow.
But it's incredible how that things actually can grow in this, and they love growing it. The Sangiovese grapes.
I love this picture because this was this spring, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, this is April. The end of April. After 1 week they planted. They got 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and after a little rain, so they.
Wow, and then this is today. This picture is
today.
Incredible. I mean, the stone is incredible. That Galestro soil, and these vines are just coming straight out. I can't wait to taste when this.
Nor can we. We have to just wait 3 years maybe or something.
Just patience. So this is right below the winery, and all Galestro soil, and now this is over in Montespertoli.
It is sand and clay. So
sand and clay.
Yeah,
sand and clay, and this is the original was a bottom of sea. So for this reason, we have got no stone. You cannot find no stone.
Nothing. Okay. Wow.
Some part only sand, some part mix, some part too much clay.
Yeah.
And this is
Beautiful.
quite.
And so
quite
this is the red label Chianti.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Okay. And then look at this vineyard. This is also that river stone.
Yeah. This is the San Casciano, the third type of soil that we work with.
Wow.
So here now the plants are 4 years old.
4 years
yeah.
ago.
So this was
Okay.
just before planting, and they're coming up very, very nicely.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
And
Wow. It's such impressive, gorgeous soils. And again, I mean, I sound like a broken record, but it is that difference that makes Chianti Classico so special, and it makes Chianti has such an amazing history, and it fell out of favor, I think, so easily because the wicker basket, the simplification of the Sangiovese grape, but really there's some amazing stories to be told in these farms and in this land, and I think you are making this so easy for me to understand and to comprehend because the wines are exquisite. So before we taste these, tell me about farming. What is your philosophy about how to farm and how to take care of the planet?
Yeah. Well, as you know, we've been, Niccolò said he's been producing wine since 95, and actually we've been organic since 95.
Wow.
Although the certification is from 2001, which still is, more than 20 years ago. So yeah. So what it means that it's a lot of, taking care of the soil is very, very important. Maintaining the how do you say the grassing techniques. Maintaining of course, due to this dry climate that we have to keep it moist and fertilized, and so naturally, of course, but not to cause aeration. How do you say aeration when it gets too dry, and the heavy rains also.
Oh, right. So, that makes sense. Yeah. And you don't irrigate. There's no. Do you water anything?
No, we don't irrigate. No.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
We don't have that much water.
Yeah. True. Wow. And so you're certified organic since 2001, long before it was popular. Yeah. And and in the winery, your philosophy is, really primarily working with the Sangiovese grape, this beautiful, Tuscan varietal that everyone knows to be so, so important and noble in Tuscany. But what is your philosophy when making wine? Do you have an idea of how you want your wine to come out? How you use sulfites? Do you use natural yeast for fermentation? What is your philosophy there?
So, and of course, we use a bit sulfite. We use gas sulfite, and we use just a little when we need to put continually, just a very small quantitative, just to have a protection from oxygenation but during fermentations, but it's very, very, very little, because the tannin of Sangiovese helps a lot to
preserve. Cool.
Yes, we don't use
any yeast,
just the natural that they are in
the skin.
And I love the wine that they are conserve good fruitness, but with good extract. So
we work a lot, I think, with the extract.
Yes,
because as you see now, there's never any problem with the color of the wine or Sangiovese, which is sometimes known for being a bit troublous with the color, but we don't have any, and because he works a lot with, you know, especially for the Chianti Classicos with
Get some extraction.
long fermentation. Yes, exactly, to work a lot with it. And
yes, I'm so for my miei gusti, come si dice,
my taste.
My taste. Yes, I need to feel extract and but combined with
kind of freshness,
fruitness combined together. So it's this is my objective to.
And I think that makes for wine that can age for a long time. When you have worlds, you have that the extraction from that Sangiovese so naturally gives that wonderful tannin, the high acidity, but then still letting the terroir and the winds play a part in giving some wonderful freshness.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's taste these wines. Let's start. The current vintage is 2018.
Yes.
From Montespertoli, but noted as
the Chianti we came out quite soon in the age in the years, because we don't made no affination in the oak barrel.
Only stainless steel or cement.
Yes, only
cement.
And yes, we came with a young and a fresh wine.
So the fermentation also is a bit shorter, because, you know, we extract less to keep it even more fruitiness and diversify it from the Chianti Classico. And so
cool.
So yeah, this is 100% Sangiovese, both in stainless steel and in cement as well. And yeah, it's got a very nice fruity silkisness to it.
It really does. It has a deep fruit tone, that kind of ripe purple plum, some ripe black cherry, but also like licorice and kind of wild fennel tone to it as well. It's very fragrant, beautiful aroma on the nose.
Yeah. And it's got this just that little tanniness in there, but it gives it's really easy to drink by the glass wine, and it's a very easy wine to combine with a broad, you know, like from by the glass. As I said, if people aren't that used to the Sangiovese with the tannins, so this is still very enjoyable to drink, and with antipasti, and so it's its
fruit is so expressive. Like, kind of, if you take a palette and you draw it in form, right up front on the attack is so much fruit, so much expression of like kind of earthy fruit. You know, it definitely has a sense of earth and terroir. And then the fruit lingers, but then the acidity just cleans up the whole palate on the back.
Yeah. So
fresh and so long. This wine, to me, it always blows people's mind when I say that there's no oak aging, because it's got full structure and beautiful body.
Kind of body to it too. But it's
just the grapes. This is just the grapes.
This is the grapes. Yeah.
Very excited about La Querce Seconda. I think each year I taste your wines, and each year they continue to show more about your land, I think, if that makes sense, which as grapes get older, they get more serious, you know, and it's beautiful expression of Sangiovese. Yeah, I love it. Love it. Wow.
Yeah, and, you know, working with it, I think we learn, I mean, even though we work in a traditional way, we, you know, it's not saying that we don't use, you know, modern techniques or what we hear around or something. I mean, like the modern knowledge mixed with the traditional handcraft. Yeah.
Like these purple flowers on the back. Actually, and I don't know, I always think of the beautiful purple irises that you have growing.
The symbol of Florence, the iris. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The symbol of Florence. I smell purple.
Something in common. Yeah.
It's lovely. Really expressive. And and priced so well. The value here is incredible. And like you said, Linda, this is wonderful for a by the glass that can go with everything from the antipasti to the pizza to the
Yeah.
bolognese. You know, like it really can stretch
Definitely.
very well.
Definitely. Yeah.
How long does this sit in the stainless steel or concrete before you bottle?
Well, you know, as we said, this was a 2018 vintage, and we bottled it just end last year, or beginning this year. So,
Okay.
so you know, we're not like, you know, quick,
It's not
because it
super quick
still
to
takes
turn,
some time. Yeah, no, it's not super quick, but you know, a year and a half after, maybe
Okay.
year and a half,
Yeah,
2 years.
it's a simple year and a half in
Yeah, no,
hanging out.
we don't.
I mean,
But you know, when the wines are ready.
Yeah.
the wines are ready, you'll bottle them. Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
it's special. You're a small farm, so every year is totally different.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
very difficult to make norm.
Yeah, we don't have a calendar, you know,
Right.
as many other big, you know, this month we bottle this and this one. We don't have it. We just like, you know,
So
see how the
Cool. I love it. I love it. I think that philosophy gives so much more life to the wine. You know, this wine was paid attention to instead of you know the opposite way where you just tell the wine what to do. It's this wine told you what to do. It's really wonderful.
and hopefully our clients will understand that philosophy as well.
Yeah. I agree.
They're like, no, the wine isn't ready yet. We have to. So yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. No, I think it's beautiful. So let's taste your Chianti Classico.
Okay.
This is so now this comes from the amazing soils that we saw, the river rock, the San Casciano area, and 2015 is
This.
is the vintage that we have in stock, and
Yes.
it's drinking. I mean, it's 2015. It's 5 years now, and this saw oak aging. You took 100% Sangiovese, correct?
It is
100% Sangiovese. It's just is a blend of 50% in the cement, 50% in oak barrel.
Okay, cool.
So it's we got tonneau, 500 liters of capacity, and 2 big barrels, 2,000 liters. So there is oak, but the big barrels, so not
all big barrel. And what kind of oak is this?
French oak.
French oak. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So this is still youngish. It's only 5
years old. Yeah.
It's only 5 years old. This will have a long, beautiful life.
Wow.
But still, it's very agreeable to drink now.
Yeah, and
you feel deeper tones of
the Sangiovese. You know, I think Sangiovese is such a remarkable grape. It really has a lot of style and finesse, while also having a lot of grip and kind of deep texture to it. And, you know, some of the best Sangiovese 100% expressions are from Montalcino, you know, Brunello di Montalcino being all 100% Sangiovese. And when I taste your Sangiovese, it's not that I compare to Brunello, but I compare drinking 100% Sangiovese and really feeling the expression from your area in this glass, instead of, you know, just thinking of it as a grape that grows everywhere. And this spent 1 year in barrel or in the wood?
Yeah, the oak, yeah. And then back to cement the other part as well for the assembly.
And only 50% was in wood, or okay. 50%. So 50% never saw wood, and then 50% saw wood.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's so deep and dark and beautiful on the nose, and lots more of that purple flower and more of that licorice.
Yeah. And the acidity, you see how really closes a lovely finish.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's drinking. It's drinking.
Yeah. It's doing
so well.
very well.
And
Yeah.
the acidity
You
is
see
so
the balance between the acidity and the tannins, they really blend in very, very nicely together. It's a perfect balance, I found it. It's really,
oh, it's
yeah.
so expressive and deep and textured and dark, but still fresh with acidity. The acidity of the Sangiovese
Yeah.
is really clean, bright cherries,
Mm.
a bowl of big, beautiful, perfect cherries. I love it.
Is. Yeah.
I love it.
Helps to combine with food because it keeps the mouth clean
Yeah.
the
The
taste
dryness.
is a long balance. It's not only vertical, just one sensation, but it's long time and horizontal.
Yeah, it really hangs in there. Exactly. The tannins feel how they feel remain.
That is showing so well right now.
Mm.
It's really in a good place. And it's still young, but it's in a really good place.
Yeah. But I think we'll have a few very, very nice years. I mean, it still is very, definitely for a couple of years, it will remain anything.
It'll remain drinking grapes. Yeah. So what is the difference now between your Classico and your Chianti Classico Riserva?
This is quite unusual to have Chianti Classico Annata with Chianti Classico Riserva from the same age, from the same vintage.
Okay.
And they are where come from the grapes. So which different I keep the best tank, the best quality for make the Riserva.
Each year can be different, or is there a certain spot of the vineyard that's always producing the best grapes?
It can be different also, we can depend on how the year is, because maybe some year there's a hailstorm that destroys that special field or something. So it's really different. But Niccolò, already in the vineyard, he keeps an eye on the beautiful grapes, and then tend to during the fermentation and then vinification, keeps it separated, and already have a thought of making the Riserva already there. So it's many years of planning and thinking, and so and especially in this vintage, we choose to put a 10% of 10-ish% of Merlot in it as well.
Right.
Yeah, so to make that a little different.
And actually, do you mind showing the label? The reason I have a Steiner bottle is because this wine is actually on the water right now and should be landing by the time you're watching this video. But it's beautiful. I love it. I love the longer. It looks so nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so too.
Espresso.
Luckily, when Linda last visited, she brought a barrel or a tank sample of the Riserva, and we had an extra bottle, so I was able to have this, which isn't totally perfect match of what is landing, but can give me an idea and give us
definitely an idea of it. From a tank sample to the ready bottle, it's a small difference.
Does this only spend also a year in the wood or longer?
No, more.
18 months.
Yeah, 18 months. Yeah.
18, and all the grapes are in wood.
Yeah.
Not
Merlot, maybe.
Not Merlot.
No, not the 10-ish%, but the rest of the Sangiovese. Yeah.
Cool. Wow. It's again, it's so deep, but then there's like there's this kick of freshness, fresh fruit on the nose that I'm at least getting from this right now. That maybe is the expression of Merlot adding to the mix.
Adding to the depths of the as well. Yeah, and this still has even more. This explosion in the mouth of the deepness.
Whoa.
Right.
Well, we
very
don't
balance.
We don't spit, Brian. We
I know. It's dark over there. You're right. It's already 1 p.m. my time. I should be. the year of coronavirus is the 1 p.m. is plenty late to drink.
Yeah, it is definitely. We're over the lunchtime.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're going to. Our children are preparing dinner now, so we're just warming up here with the.
Yes, just
That's perfect. That's perfect. You have it made. This is gorgeous. I've been so excited.
Really, and maybe people wondering like, God, it's a 2015, already 5 years old. But as I was saying when I visited you, and Niccolò won't bottle of wine. We won't release it until it's ready, and it might take time. As we can take the example, you have the Brunello. They released the wine. Then why shouldn't we release the wine when we think for us it's ready?
Totally.
So, yeah.
Well, and I think this is really showcasing where you want it to start to be drinking. I mean, we went from 2012 Riserva to 2015. Yeah. So we've not had your Riserva in the States in 12 months, 1 year.
Yes, I remember well.
Yeah. So we've been out because we've been waiting for the new vintage. And now it's ready, and I've been so excited because the 2015 Chianti was one of my favorites. It was so stunning.
Yeah, I remember the vintage.
Classico is incredible. So I've been very anxious for the Riserva because this is special.
Result, very, very good result.
And this will be amazing within a few years as well.
Yeah.
It's delicious now, but this will just continue.
Going.
And
keep going.
This beautiful fennel licorice and this dark fruits. Yeah, everything is really in where it should be.
More very equilibrated with good balance.
Where does the Merlot come from? Is it in San Casciano? Do you have it planted there, or it has to be, right? It couldn't be in Montespertoli.
In San Casciano. In San Casciano, where I got
it has to be within the zone.
Only 10 line.
Cool.
And I like Merlot because if you pick don't too late,
the right time.
The right time is also Merlot in 100% Merlot is.
I think Merlot is a great grape that has a bad rap sometimes, but in Merlot is amazing.
Which the soil, the conduction, and it's very important to keep not too much alcohol. Don't.
Okay.
Too late. Don't late. Don't
harvest
the right moment.
Too late.
Yeah.
Because you lose completely the acidity, and in 1 week you can destroy the grapes, and so it's like Chardonnays. It's the same.
Sure.
In 1 week you can lost completely the grapes.
Wow.
And Sangiovese have not this problem. Sangiovese is it's more slow, and if came some rain, he go back with maturation. So it's Sangiovese is more easier.
It's a little bit more forgiving. You can work with it. Yeah. Wow. Well, Linda, Niccolò, it's so good to see you, and it's so great to taste your wines, and it's
very nice to see you.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. Thank you so much, and I'm excited to get these wines into some new customers' hands. So if you're watching this and this sounds intriguing and delicious, it is. You must ask me for bottles because these wines are stunning. Thank you both so much for your time. Give my best to the kids, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, we do so. Ciao, Brian.
Ciao, Brian. Thanks so much. Ciao.